Welcome back. Just a few weeks after the end of Girl Scout cookie season, the Girl Scouts of Greater New York have announced this year's top cookie sellers, and for the Bronx, the title goes to once again Kalila A, a 12-year-old powerhouse who topped the borough last year as well. Here to tell us more about her journey as the two-time best cookie seller is Kalila, and joining her is the interim CEO of Girl Scouts of Greater New York, Karen Lundgard. Thank you both so much for joining us.
Thank you for having us.
Thank you.
Of course. I mean, when my producer brought this idea to me, I'm like, we have to have him on the show. I was a Girl Scout myself from first grade to sixth grade, and cookie season was just such a fun time of year for me. So I'm so excited to kind of go back and talk about this again. So to start things off, Karen, can you tell us a little bit about your experience as a lifelong Girl Scout?
Yeah, so as you said, I'm a lifelong Girl Scout. I started as a Daisy, which is 5 years old. I grew up in Buffalo, New York. My mom was my troop leader, and I truly can attribute so many formative moments of my childhood to Girl Scouting. It's such a special and unique program that's given me so much.
And so tell me, how did you make the journey now into interim CEO?
Yeah, so I've had a long career in youth development and then within overseeing nonprofits and leading nonprofits. And I was most recently the chief operating officer for the Girl Scouts of Greater New York as well.
Nice. And
Yeah.
Kalila, tell us, how long have you been a Girl Scout?
I've been a Girl Scout for 7 years.
Did you start as a Daisy and then work your way up?
Yes.
Nice. So tell me, what has been some of your favorite parts about being a Girl Scout?
Some of my favorite parts about being a Girl Scout is like making friends with other Girl Scouts, going to the Girl Scout camp, and all the fun activities that we get to do.
That's amazing. And now, Karen, can you give us an overview of the Girl Scout cookie program? Let's talk about its significance.
Yeah, the Girl Scout Cookie Program is the largest girl-led business in the entire world. Our Girl Scouts work together as a troop to plan and think about what they want to achieve that year. So they'll come up with goals. It might be a trip to camp. It might be earning a specific badge. But they're thinking about what do they need, how much do they need to actually achieve those goals. So they'll sit down together, create that plan, and then go out and achieve those goals.
That's amazing. And so now I have to know what exactly, because I know when I was a Girl Scout, there was, you can earn badges and things like that. So what necessarily are some things that they can work towards now? I know you mentioned a trip to camp and all of that. So what does that look like now?
Whatever, the sky's the limit. Honestly, these Girl Scouts are thinking about, and sometimes it's fun things, right? Like going on a trip, they might be going to Six Flags or something, or they're going up to camp. It might be that they want to earn a specific badge, but it also might be that they want to make change in their communities. And that leads up to our highest awards, our bronze, silver, and gold award. And so they might be saving up for something like that. Maybe it's something to do in the community. I was just at a garden this weekend with a troop that they had planned in Canarsie. So the sky's really the limit with what they want to achieve.
That's so great. And I'd love to hear from both of you, from both of your perspectives. What do you learn the most when you're going through this cookie season?
Yeah, so the 5 top skills that Girl Scouts learn during cookie season are decision making, goal setting, business ethics, people skills, and so much more. We see a huge boost in confidence. I know even as an adult, we are terrified of hearing no, right? So imagine the confidence that it takes for a 5-year-old Daisy Girl Scout to ask an adult to buy a box of cookies. That takes a lot of courage, and it's incredible to see the growth that we see in our Girl Scouts from being out there. They're out there one day and they're not afraid anymore, right? They're like, I can sell all day, right?
Yeah. What about you?
So like the things that I learn is like money management, like help with like if I want to start like a business on my own, entrepreneur, it's like I have like most of the skills down for it.
Yeah, absolutely. Money management is one that I feel like I should have learned. They would give me the envelope and they'd be like, do you have change? And I was like, no, mind you, there's like a whole thing of cash in there. But I'm like, no, I don't think so. But that's so great. And so, Kalila, you sold 2,008 boxes of cookies this year. You are the top seller of the Bronx. That is incredible. You are essentially, you topped these sales by 584 boxes. Just tell me, how does it feel to be the top cookie seller second year in a row?
It feels amazing, and I'm like really proud of myself for topping it that much. And it's like a really fun experience.
That's awesome. And so tell me, what does it mean to you to achieve this level of success? And you have to tell us your secret.
It feels amazing, and like I would say I keep like people who ask for cookies. I like to go make sure to see if they want cookies the next year or if other people want cookies.
I was gonna say, do you usually have, do you go to schools? Do you go maybe to family friends and work in businesses? And how do you kind of, look at that and find that out?
So I go to places in like my neighborhood, like I go to my clinic, my church, and in my school.
Nice. Church is a big one. That's where I used to go to. That was always the top seller. And so tell me, what is your favorite thing about selling cookies?
My favorite thing about selling cookies is seeing like everybody so happy when they get their boxes, especially when they come back.
Definitely. There's something about you get all those boxes and it's time to sort them out. Now, I do want to ask because I've seen in recent years now you could potentially go online and go through a link and all of that. Is that the case as well?
Yeah, absolutely. So every Girl Scout has the opportunity to set up her own digital cookie link, and so this is really teaching our Girl Scouts certainly the careers they're going to need coming up in this next generation, but teaching them all about e-commerce. So they're learning how to set up their own online business. They're having to create their own sales pitch there, really, to talk to their customers about what it is they want to achieve and their goals, and do it in that online platform, which we know is the world that they live in right now. So.
I think that's such a great way to adapt, though, because you're of course you're doing the in person and you're building up those people skills, but it really is important to kind of hop on to this generation of technology. And so teaching them both ways, I think, is so important, and it's a really great tool. Kind of wish I had that too. I was going up to people like, "Hey, would you like to buy some cookies?" But it really is good to teach them about that as well. And so, Kalila, tell me, like you mentioned, you love when people come back to you. So, what is usually the feedback when you do sell cookies?
They usually say, "Those cookies were so good. Thank you so much for asking me." And like, I really enjoyed them.
Yeah, absolutely. And so tell me from your perspective, what is some feedback that you receive from caregivers about the program itself?
Confidence is the number one thing. We hear it all the time. And again, it's that being able to go up and ask an adult is such a huge moment, a huge formative moment for any child. And so, all I can say is the next time a Girl Scout asks you to buy cookies, please say yes, because it really is supporting the skills that they're going to need in the future.
Absolutely. It's really hard to say no.
Yeah.
Like now as an adult, when I walk by and I see them, I'm like, you got me today.
Yeah.
You got me today. But, let's talk about the Girl Scouts as a whole. And I'd love to hear from both of you. Why is it so important to have this organization for young women today?
Yeah, the Girl Scouts is really setting up this next generation of leaders. So we have 4 focal areas. One is STEM. We just talked about the importance of technology. Regardless of what career our Girl Scouts go into, we know they're going to encounter technology. The next is business and entrepreneurship. Obviously, through our cookie program here, they're learning those business skills. And again, regardless of their career, we want them to have that entrepreneurial spirit. Third is outdoors. We have a beautiful camp upstate. We know there's a lot of impacts that are happening in our environment. We want to ensure that our Girl Scouts are caregivers for our natural environment and understand human impact. And then lastly, leadership and going out there and making the change they want to see in the world.
Absolutely. Kalila?
It helps with like confidence, and it gives you like so many things like to help you in the future. Like it could help with like jobs, and like if you're getting interviewed for a job, it could help like boost your opportunities to like getting the job.
Yeah, absolutely. And so in that, you've been a Girl Scout and you went through the ranks as a Daisy up to now you're a cadet. Now, tell me, how have you grown since then, and how have you grown throughout this experience?
I have grown in like skills, like my money skills and my confidence skills. I carry myself more.
Absolutely. And so, Karen, tell me, if I'm not mistaken, the Girl Scouts made 100 years about a decade or 2 ago?
Yeah, so it
Right.
was founded in 1913.
Yes.
Yes, Girl
So-
Scouts of Greater New York.
Yes, I remember the 100th celebration, but I'm like, I don't remember what year it was. But in that, how have in now in your role as interim CEO, just tell me in your lifelong career, how have you seen the Girl Scouts grow?
Yeah, some of the little things include things like that digital cookie, right? Going online with our cookies, because I grew up going door to door selling cookies, right? So that's a huge, huge innovation there. But I think the topics that we touch on are so important. And again, going back to those 4 focal areas and really ensuring that this next generation is prepared not only for today, but for tomorrow and everything that they want to go out and do.
Absolutely. And I'd just love to talk about maybe if you have a number of how many do we have here in New York? Because unfortunately, something I don't hear much about anymore. So tell me a little bit about, who you're serving.
Yeah, so we serve over 20,000 Girl Scouts within the 5 boroughs. We are in every single zip code in New York City. So we have troops in anywhere where people join. So whether it be a religious institution, a community center, school, we have partnerships all over the 5 boroughs and incredible dedicated volunteers who meet with those Girl Scouts weekly and ensure that this program is being delivered to them.
Yeah, absolutely. And just one more thing, as I mentioned, what was the caregiver feedback from the cookie program? Well, what's the caregiver feedback from the Girl Scouts as a whole?
Oh my gosh, the skills, lifelong friends for sure. I think that's a huge piece of this is people, that confidence again, coming out of their shell, having that safe and welcoming space every single week to go into. There's a lot that we navigate, that youth navigate as they're growing up, right? Whether it be peer pressure or mean girls, all of those things that our Girl Scouts have to face in the world. In their troop setting, it is safe, it is welcome, and they have that space to grow.
Absolutely. Karen, Kalila, thank you both so much for joining us today.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Of course. So to learn more about this organization, please visit girlscoutsnyc.org. We have to take a quick break, but we'll be back with more Open right after this.